Good evening, John Augustine here. Paris. Paris had a great name years ago and has been a culture kind of country with culture. I visited Notre Dame Cathedral many a time, and I had a great privilege and honour of getting Holy Mass in the Holy of Holies that the public didn't get into when I was visiting it. And I mentioned to the man at the door, what time is Mass on it, years ago. And he said, it's on at 10 o'clock. Hold on there a second. And he gives me an envelope. He says, come at 10 o'clock in the morning. And there's an admittance there for to go into where the Holy Mass is at 10 o'clock. So I did. So I went at 10 o'clock the following morning and was brought into the Holy of Holies. There was only one other lay person there, looked like perhaps an ambassador, but I was a youngish chap. And I was there, and there looked like monks in pews. And the Holy Mass was offered, of course, in the Latin Rite, which was the norm at the time. And it was a beautiful experience and a great honour, because I'd never met anybody that actually got Mass in the Notre Dame in the way that I got it all those years ago. So, and I visited Sacré-Cœur Cathedral in Montmartre, a beautiful cathedral. And this is, and the Notre Dame is reputed got about 13 million visitors a year. Well, now, it burned down most tragically some years ago, and people cried about it, even in France. It might have brought people back to the practice of the Catholic faith, because they're appalled. How did it happen? But apparently there was people doing some electrical work. So they're the fault of it. We don't know if there was somebody in that was an anti-Catholic bigot and did something on purpose. But you think the French would investigate that? Wouldn't there had? But it's been done up. It's supposed to be open later on this year. But after the experience in their opening ceremony for the start of the Olympics, the most obscene, blasphemous act ever witnessed in such a public time with this Olympics. A mockery of the Last Supper. And people throughout the world are outraged. Bishops, priests, lay people. And I shouldn't wonder if some countries might withdraw their team from participating in a city with such an attitude, because it's reputed that President Macron met this fella called Jolly, a homosexual apparently, and he was producing the show, the opening show for this Olympics, and he also met with the president of Paris. There was presidents of Paris before. Chirac was president, and he went on to be president of France. So it's a very prestigious position to be in. But she met with this fella Jolly, a homosexual, and they was putting on this show. So people are kind of expressing doubt that they didn't know what he was up to. It was going to be including diversity, or whatever you like to call it, another word for being anti-Catholic, but it was a parody of the Last Supper. And some people seem to think that it was something else. But most people throughout the world regard it as blasphemy, which you have to condemn. That's Jesus said a lot of things can be forgiven, but blasphemy never. So you were obliged as Catholics to stand up and object to such evil. My objection would be such that I will never visit that country again or encourage anybody to visit it. I certainly, and I normally would be visiting, but with this outrage, I won't be visiting. And the fact that Macron, the president of that country, Emmanuel, I presume that's a Christian name, but honest to goodness, he doesn't seem to practice his Catholic faith. If he was ever baptized, I presume he was, if he was that. But in any event, um, he's a man that wants to inflict abortion on that country. I don't know whether he succeeded in doing it, but I think the government that they have is a very shaky affair because Marie Le Pen's party performed very well in the first. There's 2 votes there, so very strange sort of way to run a country. Have 2 votes, so that you don't get your way the first time, and you call it an election, but. A lot of his party was defeated, and Marie Le Pen's party, which stands for pro-life and all the rest of it, I think it does. Well, I hope it does because there's enough of the other ones on the other side, the left crowd, standing for this evil of killing the innocent. So, but in any event, apparently the Olympics are starting, and people that would be competing could be in various other outside powers. But the railway was interfered with apparently, and disruption. And then apparently last night in Paris it was in darkness, and the only place there was any kind of light that I could see was Sacré-Cœur in Montmartre. It's funny, but how this business of blackout, and people could be stuck in lifts for all we know, could have been in restaurants, could have been dining because there'd be a lot of visitors, wouldn't there? And we paid through the nose for to be there for this Olympics. A lot of reporters and TV crews and all. So we'll see what happens as a result of that. But we condemn the blasphemy of the parody of the Last Supper, and they can come out whatever they like. It has been perceived as what it was, which is what it was. And you get people to say something different. Well, everybody, they're entitled to their opinion, but we don't share it. Bye now, and so we've made our voices heard, and I'll be contacted in a phone or an email that I got from a good source. Bye now.